Good day, everyone. I hope you are all doing well, and welcome back to another episode of The Untold. And I'm yours, Fideliza Manga, your concerned African citizen. Okay, so today I want to talk with my other entrepreneur brothers out there and sisters who wants to venture into business or who are already in business, so that we can teach one another a few things that I've experienced during my journey as an entrepreneur. So when I was starting my printing business that I was running since 2017, okay, um, I was so excited that I'm starting something of my own. Then I bought the equipment, machinery, bills of machines and stuff, large format printing, printers. I bought all those stuff. And I was excited that I'm starting my business. But however, there are things that I should have considered, or I should have taken cognizance in to before I've started the business. But I did not do that. But I was just excited that I've started something of my own, which is quite good to start something, make mistakes, learn from them, then move on. But however, since I've learned something, let me also take this chance to share with you out there few things that you need to consider before starting a business, or things that makes entrepreneur fail. So stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. Welcome. So one of the most thing of the greater importance when you are starting a business is an idea. Idea is what makes a business. Without an idea, there is no business, because every business that was started out there, it started as an idea. So if you look out there are a lot of people with the similar idea that you have, and there are a lot of companies that are planning to do your similar idea that you have in your mind. So it's also good to make a research about your idea and make it unique, so that your idea stands out when you start your business. So this is one of the most thing of the greater importance when you're starting a business. It's an idea. So that's your baby. Before you look for money, before you venture into marketing, before you do anything, idea, that's what you need. So make your idea stand out, so that you can have a solid foundation of your business. Okay, so I know people are thinking probably capital, it is important when you are starting a business. Yes, it's important because it facilitates the idea to put it into practice. But there are things that we need to look into. For example, we need to look into the risks. Risks. What are the risks that you can encounter when you are running your business? These are the things that we need to look into before you start, because you can start today. I'll give you example of something that I've started that I know of. When I started my printing business, I didn't look into the risks of that. For example, I used to have a big order. Someone needed labels for their soap company. When they're making soap, they're putting some labels outside the box. So it was a lifetime contract that every month he comes and orders a bulky thousands of those stickers. But there's something that I did consider, that there are risks when you are running such large amounts of printing. When I was printing those labels, probably I would have a breakdown. The drum needs to be fixed. That's a technical breakdown. So when I started, I just thought, no, when I buy a printing machine, I'm done. I'm just gonna buy toners only. But when the machine is running every day, machine is running wire, it needs service. I never thought that I'm gonna come across such things. So when I was doing, well, I thought, I've got a good gig. I'm about to make money now. That's when I used to face breakdowns. So when you're starting your business also, I don't know, probably you might be offering goods, you might be offering service, but there are also risks that are involved in that particular business. You need to make a research about the risks so that when you venture into the business, you know what you might come across. I know there might be a risk that you might not anticipate, but at least if you make a research about the risks that some people who are in the business similar that you want to venture into are facing, so that you know you are equipped that if you come across this, you know how to encounter it. So making a research about the risks that you might encounter, they are very it's also very important. So another thing that I want to talk about is also market research. When you start a business, the aim is to offer a solution. So offering a solution is where you found a problem. So usually um we need to do market research. Okay, market research, you have to find a deficit in something. After you find a deficit in something, then you try to find you try to put a solution and make money out of it. So you need to go out there and do your research, your market research. And now I'm producing these products, I'm going to be offering these services. Who's going to be my potential customer? Which industry am I going to venture into? Does it like my services? Does it like the goods that I'm going to produce? So market research is needed so that when you start, you know that already I'm starting, but already I have 5 customers. Or when I start, I'm gonna have more customers because I've done the research in this particular area. There is no pharmacy, so if I put a pharmacy in this area, I'm gonna make money. Because we have a problem that is entrepreneurs or people. I'll give you example of people in Zoom, where I grew up in. We are centralized in Harare. We are centralized in the CBD, but there, if you look, there are people who are doing the similar business that you are doing. You might be 10, 15 in that same street. But one of those guys, if they move out of the city, if they go in another city, they can make more money compared to what they are making there because usually you are centralized in the city. So if you do market research, you can also find out that you can make more money outside of Joburg than in Joburg. Not because in Joburg you are crowded, but you've gone to a place where there's a deficit of things that you need, that you're offering. So a mass market research is also one of the greater important things that needs to be taken into consideration, that needs to be taken into cognizance before starting a business. So let's move on to another one. So this point that I'm going to talk about right now, it goes hand in glove with the previous point that I've mentioned. That, for example, there are people, similar people who are in your business. You are just crowded in the same place or same city, but you can also go into another city, then you can make more money out there. So I want to talk about competition. That you need to know people who are in the similar line of business that you are into. That when you start there, probably you may start by getting customers probably by lowering your prices. There's so many ways that you can lower customers to your business. So you need to know your competitors, how they are doing. How can you make your idea or your products or your services unique so that you can get more customers to your business? So competition is also something that you also need to look into. Then another thing that is also important is there's no way we can go out there and start a business without capital. Capital is needed, but usually capital we get it in various forms. Probably some they go to the bank, some they get from family, some we save. Like myself, I usually, if I want to start something, I have to save myself, go out there, look for the money to start. So usually, I prefer to start a very small business that doesn't require much money, grow that business so that I can finance another business and finance a bigger idea, something that you need to do. So yeah, capital is needed, but usually it's also good not to strain, not to bother other people out there because people, oh, everyone has dreams and everyone has ambitions and people need to make use of their own money. So just imagine you want to start something of 20,000 US dollars with this time and age where we are. It's very difficult to raise such kind of money here where we are in Africa, in Zimbabwe, in Johannesburg, it's difficult. So I usually urge people to start something small, then finance their big dreams. Okay, so uh, when we are doing business or when we're starting business, usually some they prefer that they are not gonna look for people to help them. That's what we call labor. They're gonna start on their own, then look for labor out there. But it is also of greater importance to know that the business does it need help. Do you need someone to help you? Because usually when you are studying business, some of us are working. I'm going to work, but if I need to start something, I have to look for someone who's gonna look after that particular business until I come from work. I have a look at it. Then weekends I'm there and stuff. So you need also to look whether you need someone to assist you. Then have a budget of the person that's gonna help you to to run your business. So there is also a point that I almost forgot. It's also location. Location is also important. Location is of greater importance. For instance, probably you might need to do a business in your at your house, but some then they need walk in people who walks in into the business and buy something and get some services there. So location is also important when you want to start your business. You need to look at a location where your your goods that you're offering or your services are in par with the location where you want to operate it at. So for example, I'll give you example of what um of a butchery. There's no way you can open a butchery at a place where there are very less people. You need traffic, you need people who walk around that area, who use the same road so that they can see, there's a butchery there, let me go and buy meat. So location it's also one of the great things, great ideas that we need to put into consideration when you're starting a business. But lastly, when we're starting a business, usually we need legal and documentations that legalizes us to run a business. This is something that I've not mentioned, but it needs to be put into consideration when starting a business. That are you starting a bakery? Are you starting a butchery? Are you starting a bottle store? Are you starting a consultant and services etc. So all of these business they have their own legal and documentation requirements that are needed before you start it. So doing a research of what's needed, which document is needed, so that you can legally run your business. It is important so that we can abide the laws and the regulations of the country. So these guys, today these are the points that I had for you guys. That as entrepreneurs or people want to venture into business, we can put into consideration before we start business, so that when we start our business or when we start what we need to start, we have more knowledge and insight and information that can give us a good solid foundation before we start our business. Until we meet again, I'm yours, Fidelis Amanga, your content African citizen.